but she has added some little bits of cheese and some little bits of bread and some little bits of pasta. And this, my friend, was the headline on every single news article, news site that I've ever come across.
Gwyneth eats carbs.
Gwyneth Paltrow, isn't she curious? I
saw that she has a husband.
Yeah, she's had a husband for a while.
But in my mind, her and Chris just broke up.
Oh, they broke up a long time ago.
Sorry, they didn't break up, actually.
Oh, they consciously uncoupled. Classic. That was so good.
So good, a term that we've never heard of.
2016. She's been married to a different man since 2018, Brad.
Wow, okay. And Chris Martin is with Jennifer Lawrence. No, Dakota Fanning.
Johnson.
No.
So close. You know what? I can actually see. I can see why you would go with Dakota Johnson and Jennifer Lawrence. They're like a little bit similar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the same sort of timeline of fame.
They're not Fanning.
But then you've gone Fanning, and I'm like, no. So far.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking about Chris' side of this. We're talking about
No,
Gwyneth Paltrow, who has Goop, and she loves the vagina candles.
Yep.
She loves like anal bleaching, or maybe not anal bleaching, but I feel like steaming the punani. Yes, that was a big thing.
She likes that.
Yeah, there's like certain things that come out each year that everyone goes, what is happening in Gwyneth's life?
And a lot is vagina coated. But this time it's not vagina coated.
Okay.
Now, as I was researching Gwynny today, she's actually been in the media a little bit lately. Oh. Because do you remember that when she did the whole ski trial?
Yeah. I knew you'd bring up the ski trip.
Ski trial. She just recently said that the ski trial was everything that's wrong with our legal system.
Right.
And she was determined not to be shaken down. And actually, I generally agree with her there, because that was crazy that person thought it was okay to sue her for just accidentally running into him on the ski slopes.
I was enthralled.
Oh, we all were. It was better than the real world, baby. And it was at a really weird time in all of our lives. So we
soaked it up.
Yeah, we could really just decompress the end of the day with the ski trial. Also, it's today we're recording is actually Met Gala day, and she came up because apparently she was banned from the Met Gala for a little while.
Oh, how does one get banned from a Met Gala?
Well, if you piss off Anna Wintour.
Which seems like easy to do if The Devil Wears Prada is a documentary.
Yeah. So she went to the Met Gala in 2013, and then she told Kyle and Jackie O that it sucked and that it seemed like it's the best thing in the world. But then you get there and it's hot and it's crowded and everyone's pushing you, and I think
it's like
we're
any
all a bit
awards
old.
though.
Yeah.
Like if it's an award show, whatever, like it's never fun.
No, you just see the pretty like glitz and glam photos. And
yeah, but then like how do you like go to the bathroom in that outfit that you spent all that time getting basically sewn into?
Girl, my prolapse and the amount of times I go to the bathroom per day, let alone per hour, I could not go to a Met Gala. And that's really the only reason why.
Yeah, otherwise you'd be there.
Otherwise, I'd be there. But she wasn't invited back for 5 years after that. So that was just interesting Gwynny tidbits there. But the reason she was in the headlines for me recently, and probably for you too, Wilko, she's eating pasta again, you guys. Gwynny's back on pasta and some cheese. Yeah.
So she stopped for a while. And was she a full vegan?
She was not a vegan. I think she's a little bit of like a Victoria Beckham of like salmon and vegetables every meal.
Right. Okay. Which is good to eat like low calorie food. We understand that. But also like carbs give me life. I know that I said to my partner the other week, we've got to stop with the rice and pasta. And then he looked at me and he said, it's going to be cold tonight. I'm going to make pasta. And I went, that's the best idea you've ever had. And
So,
I'd completely forgotten and moved
well,
on
you
from
forget, yeah.
proclaiming that we're not going to do the carbs.
That was a silly proclamation, to be fair. But carbs, like, turn your brain on. They're the thing that, like, starts the brain ticking over.
Yeah.
So she must be getting carbs somewhere, I suppose. But she'd previously said that she restricted herself from sourdough bread, pasta and cheese. She'd been strict paleo for several years. This comes as no surprise, obviously, because the whole of Goop is just insane trends and diets and everything. But she came out this week on the podcast, the Goop podcast. I tried really hard to find audio of this, but I just couldn't. And said, I went into hardcore macrobiotic for a certain time. That was an interesting chapter where I got obsessed with eating very, very healthily. She said she got into it because of her father's throat cancer, but she's now broadened her food choices.
Right.
And so she's basically, so like I said, she was lots of fish, vegetables, rice, no dairy, no sugar, etc. But she has added some little bits of cheese and some little bits of bread and some little bits of pasta. And this, my friend, was the headline on every single news article, news site that I've ever come across. This was a headline. And I was just
Gwyneth
like,
eats carbs.
who freaking cares? Like, who cares about her eating some pasta? It's about freaking time. She looks like she needs some cheese.
Yeah, give her some cheese. Sure,
And
her body's going to hate it.
Sure.
Our bodies do not like cheese.
And also, can you imagine the first time she consumed dairy after not having dairy for years?
The gas alone. Wouldn't want to be there.
She would have needed a steam somewhere down there, that's for damn sure. Now, and that is not a read on her look, by the way. She's obviously a very thin white woman. She has the look that people are obsessed with. And
when you say people,
me have been obsessed with my whole life. But the like, it's a sadness. There's a sadness in people who are not enjoying themselves while they eat. And I genuinely don't think these celebrities, like the Victoria Beckhams, like the Gwynnies, you've got to be so sad that you've just been eating the same freaking meal every breakfast, lunch and dinner for however many years to achieve a certain aesthetic that keeps you working, I suppose. But I kind of look at women of that ilk and I'm like, you're far enough in now. You like, no one's going to care if you like gain a few kegs. Like, it's fine. I'm sure the internet will be awful to you because they're generally
Daily Mail
not nice.
will put up an article that goes, Gwyneth looks so different now. And when they say different, they mean that she's put on some weight. And they don't say fat anymore.
No,
they're just like, look, she's incredibly different. And they'll say good on her. But you know that every positive thing they're saying, they're not meaning in a positive way.
And they use the worst photos that they can find of someone that they've taken like on the weirdest angle. So anyway, look, good for her. Hopefully her guts have handled the addition of bread and cheese.
Because we all know what it's like when we do go clean for a bit, and then
I don't actually know.
You don't?
I've never successfully gone clean for a bit.
No, you've done
one day
you've
here
done
or
fad.
there.
You've done crazy extreme fad diets.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
so you have gone clean to an extent.
You know, when I did the crazy Beverly Hills diet, the crazy fruit diet as we call it.
Before you go on, we're not saying that you should do these diets at all.
God, no. 6 weeks, I basically lived on pineapple. And this is years ago. I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
It was literally decades ago.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing, and I'm wondering if this is what happens to celebrities when they have been eating a certain way for so long. The weirdest thing for me was the day after I'd finished, I looked in the pantry and I was like, what am I allowed to eat? And I don't know what I like anymore. And that was only 6 weeks. But because every breakfast, lunch and dinner had been laid out for me in this book and I followed it to a T. The next day, after the 6 weeks, I was genuinely panicked looking in the cupboard and the fridge because I was like, what do you eat for breakfast? And I freaking settled on Just Right. And I don't even really like Just Right cereal.
And I don't think Just Right's that healthy.
No, but it's got little apricot bits in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's fruit. And that's what I know that I
bad
have
fruit
had.
for you.
And I ate that. And then later that day, I ate a bag of white chocolate raspberry bullets. I remember it really well because they've never tasted so good to me. But maybe that's what's happening with these celebrities. Maybe they want to stop eating that way.
Yes.
And like live a normal life, but they've only eaten the same thing, breakfast, lunch and dinner for 6 years. After 6 weeks, I didn't know how to eat. 6 years, I don't even, like, that would be stressful.
I'm trying to think now. I feel like I always know what to eat.
You do. I'm going to say that as your friend.
Yeah.
Because you've always got a craving, even if it's not obvious to you.
Yeah. I'm always into something. I mean, if I go through people like have addictions.
Yes.
My addictions
you will always have a thing.
Yeah. 2 weeks, maybe just over. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Like the beetroot juice.
Oh my God, I'm hard on it. I'm hard on it.
Are you back on it?
No, not right now. But okay, I did see some juices the other day, and I was like, "Fucking should I?"
You brought it into work, and he's like, "Try this beetroot juice. You've never had anything like it. It's bloody beautiful. It is. You will feel so good." And I sipped it, and I was like, this is bullying. Actually, you can't give me this. This is bad. This is yucky, yuck."
Oh, I love it. I go through a thing, and sometimes it's healthy. Sometimes it's sometimes it's beetroot juice, and sometimes it's chicken and cheese from Macca's. You know, I go through a thing, and I'm real hard on it, and then I dump it, and then I never want to see it again.
Good days at work with you when you came in and you said, "Should we get a burrito today?"
Yes. We should. Because I was mad on burritos.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I really hope for them. I really hope for the. I think about celebrities often, and I think. I hope that they're doing okay. Yeah, I do. I sit there. Because my partner made a pasta the other night, and I said to him, your friend who's the chef, your pasta was better than their pasta. And I can't believe I just put that in the podcast. Yeah, I hope that they don't see that. And he was like, really, was it that good? I was like, is that good? And I laid in bed, and I got a little bit emotional about how much I liked it.
You are the type of person who remembers a meal from when you've traveled.
Yes.
Like you remember where you've gone and had a meal from. And if you were to go back to that place, that's where you would go.
Yeah.
So that you getting emotional over a pasta, not that weird to me.
No. To anyone else watching, they might go, what's wrong with that guy? What has he not got in his life?